Welcome to the pod. You are listening to What the Reality with me, Cashay Roberts, and this is another episode of your toxic, but it is Tuesday, Toxic Tuesdays, whatever y'all are calling it, whatever you call it, I love it. Guys, this show is jam-packed. How are you guys? It's been a week. This week is our What's the Reality on What the Reality. So we will have a Friday show. I don't know why I just felt like I was just getting Botox like right here. Like it just felt like I had like a needle right here, but I have like none. But it just felt like this sharp like needle pain. Like I have lip plumper up there or something. Either way, this is going to be a long episode and I'm so happy because Real Housewives of Potomac is back. We got toxic talks, of course. We got some topics to talk about, some reality topics, and we have some like reality TV topics to talk about. It is nonstop. We have Salt Lake City, Miami, Potomac. I got to start taking better notes of Salt Lake City. My issue with Salt Lake City is a little theatrical right now. It's good, but very theatrical. I don't know what's going on. It's a lot going on in Salt Lake City. It's hard to keep up. But when I record on Mondays, it's like Salt Lake has been out for a whole week. So it's like I have to get better like taking Salt Lake City notes when I watch it. And normally I do remember, like my notes used to be so much more in depth for these recaps, but it's like so much stuff is on. Like if it's just one show on, then yeah, I'm just like recapping that. But there's so many shows on right now. I don't want to do scene for scene. I'm just taking what's important and what's the big stuff that I need to take away. So either way, we got Salt Lake, we got that Miami Part 1 reunion, and we have Potomac. I'm really excited to talk about Potomac. Potomac is my show. I don't know. I started my pod on the end of the Potomac last season. I think I was like talking about the reunion kind of, but I'm very excited to talk about Potomac. Potomac is my housewives show. Potomac, Salt Lake, and Atlanta now. Of course, I'm going to be talking about Atlanta. Let's get into these toxic talks because Taylor Swift has dropped Life of a Showgirl, and it was a complete flop, y'all. I mean, of course, like the paid publications that are supposed to talk good about it are talking fine about it. Pitchfork gave it a 5.9. Pitchfork is like the only reviewer. It's like the Rotten Tomatoes of music that I genuinely trust. And I feel like Pitchfork got that rating right. I feel like they were still a little nice because it is Taylor Swift. But I genuinely feel like the fact that they gave her a 5.9 is crazy. So I thought it would be fun. These aren't my favorite tweets, but I just want to tell you guys what the people are saying. This is when it initially launched. It launched Friday? Of course at midnight, and I've screenshotted some tweets. Have you guys been seeing like the comparisons between like Cool, Jonas Brothers, and her one song with Sabrina, which people are literally forgetting Sabrina Carpenter was even on the song because they said they didn't even make it to her part because the song was so bad. And the comparisons were so stark. Like it was such a stark comparison. I think I'm using that right. Like it really was a copy, and they're saying like the Jonas Brothers should literally sue her. They are saying, where are the creative juices? They said it was not giving. To be honest, when I saw her cover, also I changed my case because it is fall. I just wanted to point that out. What was I saying? A lot of people, like a lot of her fans have turned against her. Like they said, this is not one of your best albums. Like what the heck were you thinking? And I've never been a Taylor Swift stan. I've just been always like, this the girl that y'all compare to Beyonce? You're kidding me. But what was I gonna say? When I saw her cover art for Life of a Showgirl, I knew exactly what direction we were heading in. It was giving Renaissance. You cannot tell me it wasn't giving Renaissance. I've never seen freaking Taylor Swift in a two-piece bedazzled, like showing off body like that, like without her tights or without her tassel skirts. Like I've never seen that before. So it was definitely giving like she was trying to like replicate like Renaissance. I always thought that. And so people were thinking like, maybe it's going to be giving us like Christina Aguilera, the Lady Gaga, maybe Madonna, like those type of influences. But they said it was so bad. So I just want to read some of them. They're not my favorite tweets. I'm just shocked at how many likes they have. I mean, one of them is my favorite tweet. I'm going to tell you guys. But like these are literal tweets, and I might like put them on my screen if I feel like it. Guys, the days with this laptop is so numbered. Like I cannot wait. Amazon Prime Day is tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm getting a new laptop finally, and everything can just run a lot smoother, a lot cohesive. I'll finally be able to move to write because it's been so difficult writing. I've talked about this. Like my S key literally does not work. So I've had no motivation to write because like it's so difficult. And I'm like, of course, out of all keys, it has to be the S key. Like it can't be the freaking X or something, or even like the Q. Like it has to be the S key, something like what? Like you can't make this stuff up. So this is like my favorite tweets, or like tweets I've been seeing from her fans. Like people are turning against her, like her fans are turning against her. Like genuinely her worst album, and I'm saying this as someone who's been a fan for over a decade. That was somebody's tweet. They said, I actually cannot believe how bad Eldest Daughter is. Also not lost to me that Beyonce had a song on Cowboy Carter called Daughter. So what's that tea? This album is ass. I'm so sorry. I've been defending her for so long, but this sucks so bad. I'm really sorry. This sucks a lot. These are tweets with over like 20K likes. One of them has like 11K. Another one has 22K. This one has 30K. And then this is my favorite tweet. They said, is there carbon monoxide leak at her house? Because this can't be the same woman that wrote Folklore and Evermore. And it says 32K likes. And then someone was also saying like, they said, okay, I have this other tweet that's like hilarious. It has 24K likes. It says what being around Travis Kelce does to your literacy skills. And it has like screenshots of like her quotes from this album. I mean, her lyrics from this album. And they're just saying like, what the heck? But I'm just hearing it's a flop. I haven't heard anything about it. I mean, now they're saying it's challenging Adele's 25. And I'm like, you're serious? How is it challenging Adele's 25 for like 3 million or something? I don't know the numbers, but if there is one thing the Taylor Swift stans are going to do, they're going to try to listen to the album again, because that's what you have to do. Like, that's what Jay-Z even said about Beyonce. Like, a lot of people, you're not going to get Cowboy Carter on the first listen. You got to listen to it a couple times. And so maybe people got to listen to this a couple times, but initial reactions, normally the girls are gagged over her music, and I didn't even think it hit like #1 for Billboard. And that's like a first for Taylor Swift. And I don't know if this tweet is real. I'll have to find it. But there was a tweet by Adele, and it said quantity or quality, and it had the arrow pointing quantity. I do think like Taylor Swift drops a lot of music. Like give the people some time to like miss you. I even feel like that about Drake. Like I feel like he's always dropping new music. And I'm like, why aren't we giving fans and consumers a chance to miss you guys? Like a lot of people just drop too much music, and then it's like everything starts sounding the same. I tried to listen to Bryson Tiller's album. Also, that is a sign of a recession, because that man would rather not release music. He said it himself. If he could make as much money as he did just being a songwriter, ghostwriter, as he did a singer and not having to perform, he would do it. I tried to listen to his album. His album sucked to me. Like it sounded like his last album, and it sounded like all of the old stuff. So that's even like Doja Cat. Like the people love Doja Cat. She's committed to this 80s era. I have to listen again. Y'all are dropping too much music. Let's have a true, serious conversation about it. Y'all are dropping too much music. You need the creative juices to start flowing more. You don't have to drop an album every year. It took Cardi B 7 years to drop Am I the Drama, her sophomore album. Beyonce goes on hiatus every 4-6 years. The only reason we're getting this much music back to back is because it's a trilogy. Otherwise, it would have people release too much music. If I were to say people that release too much music, it would literally be Drake and Taylor Swift. Like, I think they're both the female male versions of each other. Oh my gosh, that just scared me. My post-it's not sticking. But okay, so that's for Toxic Talks with Taylor Swift. I also want to talk about Ayesha Curry because the girls are coming for Ayesha Curry. Stephen Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry, gorgeous woman. Never, I mean, okay, what's the drama? The drama is, I'm like, what's the tea? Why is she on our Toxic Talks? Ayesha herself is not toxic to me. Her conversation is not toxic. I think the conversation is stemmed is become toxic, which is why it's made it to my Toxic Talks. Essentially, she went on Call Her Daddy podcast and basically was like, I never saw myself having children. I thought I was going to be like, like a career oriented woman. I didn't see myself getting married this early and having children at all. Like, just being real and honest. And Ayesha Curry I have to look up how old she is because she can fool me for like 35. Honestly, she looks so young. Watch, she's 36. Yes, I'm like, she's definitely not in her 40s yet. But this is a 36-year-old woman with 4 kids, and her man is in the NFL. And I think it just brings not NBA. And I think it just brings like a deeper conversation that a lot of women don't want to have. Like, maybe the goal isn't always to have kids and to be married. I don't think that was her goal. She says it wasn't my goal to like have kids and be married and everything. Like, she really wanted to put her career first, and I really relate to that because that's how I am right now. Like, I don't not want to have kids, but it's not really in my forecast at all right now, and I don't really want to be married right now at all. Like, first you need a man, but second of all, I'm just saying, like, that's not nowhere where. And it's like, you have this 36-year-old woman who basically, like, she never got a chance to live her life because her and Stefan, they started dating and I think they're high school sweethearts. She didn't expect him to go to the NBA. And it's not that she didn't believe in him, but it's like she didn't expect for their life to change that fast, that soon, that young. And, she really didn't get the opportunity to live the life she envisioned for herself. And now she's living her life for other people. And that's what happens when women in these types of relationships, from what we've seen, he is a supportive man. He loves his wife. They have a healthy relationship. But there has been multiple instances in the media where she has seemed not over it, but just kind of like, dang, like, what about the life that kind of got away? And it's like, I never want to be like scorned like that. And I don't even think she's scorned. It's just kind of like something in the back of her head. Like, it's like, dang, I never really lived the life I thought I was going to live because I'm living it now as a wife. I'm living it as a mother, and I never got a chance to really do what I wanted to do. So now this conversation has sparked like a lot of animosity within the women community, within the Black male community, saying like she's ungrateful, like he doesn't cheat on her, he doesn't beat on her, like she should be utmost grateful. But it's like, I just think it shouldn't even resort to that. Just because your significant other doesn't cheat or beat on you, that means you have to be happy. Like, that doesn't automatically equate to happiness just because you're not getting cheated on or beat on. Sometimes people are not compatible. And I think a lot of people end up not being compatible. And this is not a relationship pod as a single person. But a lot of people they're not compatible. They're compatible younger, but a lot of people don't grow together. A lot of people grow apart. And I hope they stay together, but she's 36. At a certain point, what if she is like, this isn't enough? I think she's getting kind of to that point. I think that's okay. And I think we should have healthier conversations about, like, what if this isn't what I thought it was going to be? Because clearly you didn't want to have kids. It's not saying she regrets having kids. It's just like, she didn't know she would have kids, and she didn't know she would be in someone else's shadow. Because when you are married to a NBA star, because he is a star, you kind of do become their shadow. And it is this bigger thing. It's like Steph Curry can do what he wants to do. Father is kind of his last title, and that's how it is for a lot of men. But when you are a woman, mother is the first title people associate you with. That's kind of like all you're good for. society wise. I don't believe that. But I'm just saying, what if it isn't enough for her? And I think we kind of just saw her actually having this, therapy session with a podcaster, which is very easy to do, very easy to open up to. I think we kind of just saw her be like, I don't know if this would have been enough for me, my younger self. Like, knowing what I had known now, I don't know if I would have done the same things. I don't think she would have had all these children this early. She's 36 with 4 kids. I mean, and that's not to say she's not no Nara Smith now, because Nara Smith like 23, 24 with 4 kids. But I'm just saying, you 36 with these children, what is the identity you have for yourself? And you have to find an identity outside of these men and outside of being a caretaker and a mother. And I don't know. I look up to Ayesha Curry in that way, because I do think it's not a conversation we have a lot within the communities. It's kind of like, oh, you're so lucky. You struck big. Like, this man's in the NBA. You're taken care of. You're a kept woman. You have it all. Sometimes it's not enough. Sometimes, you want your independence, you want your own identity. And I think that is where she is at. I just think it's a toxic conversation, her venting and being open with it. And she never even said she regrets having children. She said she never thought she was going to have children and get married. She didn't think she was going to live a traditional life. Which a lot of people argue she's not living a traditional life. She's living 1%, 3% of a lifestyle, because a lot of people aren't afforded that type of lifestyle. But regardless, she has found herself now in this relationship. She loves this man, but sometimes love ain't enough. And that's the real gag. That is the real gag. I also want to talk about, while we're like talking about like, love and all that stuff, let's talk about Latto for a second. Because Latto went on Watch Evans Live, and I just thought it was like a terrible performance. And honestly, Latto is like one of the most male-centered women I've ever met, and we don't even know your man. How are you this male-centered woman and you don't even want to tell us who your man is? You're telling TMZ you can't deny or confirm this 21 Savage rumor. It's 21 Savage. You guys are pictured in freaking Mexico. Like, I don't understand Latto's end game. So she went on Watch Evans Live. Andy Cohen's asking her questions from viewers. What do you say about the people that are speculating it's even 21 Savage? She's like, I cannot confirm or deny. Also, she doesn't speak. She needs media training. She's on my toxic list because she's just so male-centered. They were doing this big dick energy segment. Not people you would sleep with. These are people that have BDE. It was a list of people, Timothy Chalamet, Drake was on there, Leonardo DiCaprio, and you're just rating them from scale 1 to 10. Like, how much BDE do they give off? Like, and BDE isn't even like, oh my gosh, you would sleep with this person. It's, do you think they have BDE? Like, an ego, essentially. And Latto is so wrapped up in her relationship with 21 Savage that she can't even rank Leonardo DiCaprio. She says, not my type. Timothy, not my type. Oh, I like Kylie. I'm happy in my relationship. Andy literally stopped the game. He's like, I don't want to play this game if you're not going to answer. Because it's just like, just rank it on the scale. She's like, yeah, I don't get it. And then also, I've never met a grown woman that literally speaks in memes and GIFs and viral TikTok songs. Like, that is all she could do. Her makeup looked amazing and clothes looked amazing. And it just proves like, girl, you have the wrong stylist. Because I feel like a lot of women think sex appeal is showing less, when I feel like she had plenty sex appeal, covered up, dressed like the first lady, like giving Alandria, giving Hillary Banks. Like, she looked amazing. She was on with Giselle Bryan, which they honestly do look like they could be mother-daughter. Like, that looks more like her daughter than Giselle's own kids. Like, if Giselle made it with no one and just had a kid, it would be Latto. Like, they look exactly alike, which is crazy. But it was just such a bad performance. It's like, you will not be invited to Watch Evans Live. She didn't want to answer anything because she was in a relationship. And it just got so tiresome. I even think the audience was over her. But, like, that's all she could literally talk about. I think the game was, like, the last straw for Andy. He was just kind of like, I don't want to play this game if you're not going to answer it. And she needs media. It was just such a cringe interview. And I'm like, why is every time you answering, this is like a meme or a GIF or a TikTok sound? Like, where is your personality? And if 21 Savage is that insecure in y'all's relationship, you can't even rank if Leonardo DiCaprio's BDE on a scale from 1 to 10, which I would honestly give him a solid 6. I think he's probably very cocky, but not super cocky because he's older now and now he's only scoring for the 20 somethings. But I think if he was younger now, his BDE would have been at an 8. Or maybe it's more now because he is scoring the 20-year-olds. I don't know. I just feel like the fact that she's like, I'm in a relationship, or like, my man this, my man that. Girl, your whole identity is with a man. And he don't talk about you nearly as much. If it is 21 Savage, he does not talk about you the way you talk about him. I would feel like an idiot. Let's try to separate your identity. I don't know how she has fans. Also, her Mount Rushmore of rap is herself, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Lil Kim. I'm not saying she not wrong about 3 of them, but Latto saying she's a part of the rap Mount Rushmore is like Teddy Mellencamp saying she's a part of the Beverly Housewives Mount Rushmore. Like, are you serious? It's literally like putting, oh my gosh, like her in the Beverly Hills Mount Rushmore. Because I'm not even going to say, because I don't even think Teddy's that crazy to put herself in the housewife Mount Rushmore. But it's like when I see people posting and not including Nene Leakes in a Mount Rushmore for, you know, housewives or like LVP or like Kyle Richards. Like, it's just certain people. So it's the fact that you included yourself and people are like, well, where's Doja Cat in the comments? Doja Cat is not a part of the rap Mount Rushmore. One day she's rapping, the next day she's singing. And we're talking rap. I'm not even a rapping girly. We are talking Nicki Minaj. We are talking Lil Kim. We are talking Trina. We're talking Missy Elliott. We're talking Evie. Oh my gosh, I used to love that show. Like, let's not be dense. I don't even know if Cardi B would be in the Mount Rushmore, like, but Nicki Minaj definitely is. I'm shocked she didn't mention oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Like, there's just so many other people you literally could have mentioned. And I'm going to get my black card revoked because it's on the tip of my tongue. And I cannot literally think of this rapper. Lauryn Hill. Oh my gosh, I was going to say Lauryn Hill. I was going to say it. I just couldn't think of it. It was on the tip of my tongue. No, the fact that literally Latto included herself in the Mount Rushmore is the biggest joke to me. Like I said, it's like Teddy Mellencamp adding herself to Beverly Hills Mount Rushmore. And then to put that on a wider scale for housewives, or I would say it's literally like, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of like someone like I think it's like Kelly Dodd putting herself on housewife Mount Rushmore. Like, you have to be that insane to think you're that important. Like Latto. Every time I hear her speak, I just get little girl vibes. I'm like, there's no way. I thought that was insanely weird. Also, for our toxic talks, I can't believe I'm at 23 minutes and I haven't even gotten to the reality topics. It's gonna be a long episode. I don't care. And I'm losing the sun because, of course, it's fall now and like it's setting. So bear with me. Finally, for Toxic Talks, Aaron Vipers is asking the judge for $150K from Denise Richards. So let me see. He says he desperately needs the money or he's going to end up homeless. And he needs the specific $150K amount. The gag is, I did not know he used to date Nicolette Sheridan. Nicolette, what was her name? I did not know. Yeah. And I did not know that they used to be married. And then also, that's why it makes so much sense why so many people were like, she needs to be on Beverly Hills, because Nicolette used to be married to Harry Hamlin. Right? And I'm literally in my Beverly Hills rewatch right now. I'm on season 5. I'm about to be on the Amsterdam trip. I haven't watched this since it aired. Like, I'm really excited about this rewatch. Either way, Yeah, Denise Richards' estranged husband revealed in new court docs that he is in dire financial straits. He said, I'm out of money and financially desperate. I'm about to be evicted from the residence in which I'm living in. My utilities, water, power, gas have all been turned off already. How about you get a job? He was literally living off her. It says Vipers claims he's being pushed out of the Calabasas rental home he once shared with Richards because he owes about $120K in back rent, and the Wild Thing star owes the other half as she's named on the lease. But he needs $150K from her. I'm also hearing that Charlie Sheen and Brandy Glanville can be called to testify in this trial on behalf of Denise Richards to show how toxic and domestically abusive this man was. So we might be getting a resurgence of, Brandy Glanville back in the spotlight, which is so insane because I'm literally watching season 5 of Beverly Hills right now, and I'm kind of seeing like her downfall, her epic downfall. But he's literally like, I need that equipment in order to make a living, and she's preventing me from doing so. When talking about like his health treatment machine and weight set, he's saying all the stuff he uses for like a livelihood. I think the judge denied the 150K. They're like, no, you do not need 150K. You do not. Y'all were married for 2-3 years. You don't have any children together. You're not owed that much. The lifestyle you had beforehand, I don't even think he gets that much because you weren't even married for 5 years. So yeah, he seems off the hook. Let's move to this reality topics because, of course, when I start drafting my stuff is literally when I stop recording. I record on Mondays. So I believe this news broke on Tuesday for the last Toxic Tuesday episode. And I had actually talked about the whole Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban, unexpected split. They are saying, he already has a home in Nashville. He's also on tour. They were also saying he was getting pretty cozy to a singer on that tour. Also, she's been booked and busy. They didn't spend this whole summer together. So we had that. And then within 48 hours of the news of their split breaking, I think it was 48. I think it may have been 24 to 48 hours. It was breaking that Nicole Kidman actually filed for divorce, and she actually just made her first public appearance. I'm recording on October 6th, so she made her first public appearance October 5th, and she has bangs. So she's already made a drastic physical hair appearance. Once you cut the hair, you dye the hair, you get a new piercing, you get a new tattoo, you're in the breakup blues. So she has bangs now, and she's made her first public appearance following the split from Keith Urban, and she has filed for divorce. A lot of people are saying they are concerned with the way Keith has been acting. Yikes. This is insane to me. I'm going to be following this breakup for the longevity to get the details as much as I can to you guys, because this is a shocking breakup to me. It is very shocking to me. Of course, they split after 19 years, and she did not want the separation. I also did not know she was with Tom Cruise beforehand, but apparently they did have a prenup. That's what I'm hearing, is that there was a prenup in place, which is insane because, I mean, they've been together for 20 years, but there is a prenup, and I'm hearing Keith is getting a lot out of it. I don't know if that's confirmed. I've just been seeing rumblings about, like, which I don't think it's true. Like, for every 10 years they're together, every 5 years together, he gets like 10 million or something. Does Nicole Kidman have more money than him? I just thought they were on the same level. Like, he's like that rock star and she's like that actress. Like, actresses make a lot. I know she has a lot of money, but I just assumed they were on the same. But if he's getting all of that from the prenup, that is scary to me. But I don't want to say that yet because I don't know if it's confirmed. What is confirmed, though, Candace Dillard She dropped a new podcast. I don't know if it's out. It's called Undomesticated. It's going to be the new weekly podcast from her and a New York Times bestselling author, Michael Arsenic. Come get undomesticated. So I guess she's going to be talking about like life and a mom on. Okay, this is the press on undomesticated. We invite listeners to pull up a chair at our virtual kitchen table as we laugh, unpack the headlines, and dive into pop culture moments shaping the week. The duo sent a joint statement. This is from People magazine. Yes, we're talking reality TV twists and viral internet chaos, but we're also getting into the real stuff too. From the light of the Laird, nothing is off limits. And it should be out October 1st. So I wonder how it did. October 1st, it should be out. I think she's also going to talk about becoming a mom. Also, Candace is on the upcoming season of Traitors. So I'm wondering if she's going to be recapping her episodes on Traitors. Yes. Other news. I am really excited about this news. Ryan Destiny and Keith Powers are engaged. One of my favorite young they're millennials. I don't think they're Gen Z. They're millennials. One of my favorite Black millennial couples. I love Ryan Destiny. I used to love Star on Fox. I think she's gorgeous. People don't say I look like her, but I just love her aura. I don't think no one said I've ever looked like her, but I imagine her as a Sasha Bratz doll, and I imagine myself as a Sasha Bratz doll. People say shockingly I look like Black China. I don't know if I do or not. They said the good Black China, clearly. Like, less filtered and stuff. I see it. Like, in some of my TikToks, I see what they mean. I see what some people mean, but I'm like, okay, were you trying to read me? Like, let's not do that. But Black China, she's pretty. Post all the filler and stuff. She looks really healthy and good now. So I've gotten that. But I love Ryan Destiny. I love Keith Powers. I love this strong Black couple. I am here for the Black couples getting engaged. Normani, Coco Jones. And I know Normani and Ryan Destiny like best friends. I love their friendship. So this is really good. And you want to talk about a photo shoot for an engagement? I didn't even know they were engaged because the photo's 8. Like, I didn't even know they were engaged because, I mean, obviously you see the ring, but like, I didn't even know they were engaged until you like see the whole photo shoot because it's just so them. They're so model-esque. They're so beautiful. They're just a very beautiful couple. And you really wouldn't have known they were engaged until you literally see his caption. He's like, engaged to the love of my life. But their photo shoot is so magazine coded. Like, it is giving like they had a full photo shoot. You know, she had like 3 outfit changes. It's not your typical engagement photo shoot of like him down on one knee. It's like they are fully suited, booted in these 3 gorgeous outfits. She has the one slick back in one and like the mermaid waves in another, which I love when she does that. But I just love their love story. It's become very full circle. They started dating, I think they met in 2015, started like officially dating like in 2016 or 2018, I thought it was. And they broke up in 2022. And then they secretly got back together in 2023, which we kind of knew they weren't broken up. Like, they were broken up. It was an official statement. I remember being devastated. I was like, my Shayla's. But then they were like spotted, like literally, I think he was at her birthday that same year. And she was at his birthday. And then like we've been seeing them back at events and stuff the past couple years. So it was like, I don't think they broke up, or like maybe it was just too much. I think they both were like, we need to like hustle in our own ways. They both had different projects coming out. And I'm pretty sure they broke up like around like his new edition stuff. Maybe his schedule was just too hectic. Like, the only couple that's made me want Calvin Klein jeans. But I'm so excited. Yeah, his post already has like over 1 million likes. Like, he's at 1.5 million likes already. The photo shoot is just gorgeous because, like I said, even in some of the photos, you can't even see her with the ring. Like, it's not like it's the main focal point. Like, but then some of them you do see the ring, but it just looks like this one picture I love of them. it's not your typical engagement photo shoot, and that's why I will always love them, because they do everything in taste. They literally do everything in taste. I would hate to put a damper on that. Um, Congratulations to Ryan, Destiny, and Keith, but I'm just like literally pulling up like the next story I have, the next tab I have. I would talk about Southern Charm. I don't watch Southern Charm, but apparently Southern Charm alum Catherine Dennis. Also, when you Google her, there's this one picture that comes up of her with a middle part freckles. It looks heavily filtered, but she looks gorgeous there. And I just know she doesn't really look like that. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, who is that? But okay, so she's been arrested and she's going to be in jail for 30 days because of her 2024 DUI arrest, which is like literally insane. So the reality star was booked in Berkeley County, South Carolina on Friday, October 3rd. So she's going to be in jail for 30 days for driving under the influence and transporting a container of alcohol in a motor vehicle with the seal broken. And yeah, I just don't know if people know that she's in jail right now, because I feel like that news got swept under a bunch of stuff from the weekend. I was like, wait a minute, not Catherine from Salt Lake City. I mean, not Salt Lake, from Southern Charm is sitting in jail right now. So she'll be out in the next month, hopefully by like November. Maybe she'll only have to do like 15 days. But I think she's going to have to do the full 30 days. When it's that short, they're typically going to make you do it just to teach you a lesson. I don't know how many DUIs that is, because as we know, Karen was on her 4th DUI and we did not want her to get a 5th DUI. I'm so excited to talk about Potomac. I'm about to talk about it. I want to talk about Love Island Games though real quick. Worst finale ever. Worst finale. I'm glad Johnny didn't even have a chance to be in competition for the Mega Duel. But it just really sucked. I don't know if opening the votes really helped. I do think the difference in seasons, like the first season was a lot more competition based. Like you really, like there were alliances, but you really had to fight for your spot. And I feel like this season alliances really took over. Like a lot of people didn't really fight for their spot. And I even feel like the first season of Love Island Games was more physical. This season was not nearly as physical. And well, besides Nicola getting her head knocked out, she seemed good though. She was there at the duel. But in a shocking twist, Lucinda and Isaiah actually took the money home. No one was moved on social media. We all kind of felt duped. We were just kind of like, what? Like, I didn't even want Justine to win again. So I'm like, girl, you is a little... I think we're a little over the Love Island of it, especially because I know Justine has went on the challenge. I know Johnny has been on the challenge. So like, y'all back on Love Island. I get it's a huge prize amount, but you're kind of above Love Island at a certain point. And it sucks that Justine went back, because it's like her streak is now broken. Like you went from being a 2-time champ to now losing to Lucinda and Isaiah. 250K. I think at the end of the day, Tyreek did not pull his weight. I think he had a really good social game, but when it came to showing up physically, he did not know how to show up physically, because you were so concerned with fighting with Isaiah for these other bags when you should have been strategically moving those white bags and grabbing the bags you could. They took a L 14-10. Justine was pissed. Like she was pissed. I don't see anything happening between Tyreek and Justine. I don't think he really even like her. And it looks like Johnny and Adriana have rekindled their romance, whatever. I don't know. That was like the most disappointing finale ever. I barely watched. It just was not good. I barely watched it. I just wanted to make sure Johnny did not touch that money. So if there's one thing, Johnny will always be getting eliminated before Justine. He will be getting sent home, whether it's the public or not. And I'm glad Gabby didn't see that money. Girl, welcome to America. Lay off the filler. Gabby looks a freaking mess. She looked a mess the whole time there. And yeah, I think Josh really deserved it. Andrea actually friend-zoned him when they got on After Sun. I don't think she can stand him. I think she probably got the ick from him, and I think she's getting back with her DJ boyfriend, the one she was with 2 weeks before she entered the villa. But I'm glad she was able to rewrite her Love Island. story because, she, season 6 was very much cast as a mean girl with the whole Leah Rob situation. So it looks like she was able to, like, get her groove back, which is good. Think, that was the finale. So underwhelming. And yeah, I wasted 3 weeks of my life for that. But let's get into these reality TV because Potomac is back. I'm going to start with Potomac because I just want to say I watched it today and I was so excited watching it. It was so good. It was so fresh. Karen Huger was not there, but Mia Thornton was not there. However, something about this premiere just felt so right, and I feel so guilty saying that because Karen Huger wasn't there. But maybe it's really what we needed. I think Andy's bringing Karen back, though. He was super, like I said, Latto, terrible on Watch What Happens Live, but Giselle was also on there, and they were talking about Karen Huger. I think it's nothing like the Jen Schaub at all. He is really excited to have Karen Huger back on the show. I think he really cannot wait. But in terms of the Potomac premiere, I thought it was 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 across the board. I'm so glad Mia is not there. I didn't even notice she was there. I was like, wait, has it been like 2 seasons now since Mia has not been there? Like, I couldn't remember because I know she had left the reunion and stuff, whatever. But I thought it was such a good premiere. I'm really excited for the 2 newbies. I'm really excited about Angel because her husband's fine. Wait a minute now. I was like, who is that? But he's like a former NFL player. I think he used to play for the Denver Broncos. So I'm excited for that. Let's talk about what all happened to make it a 10 out of 10 premiere. So the OG ladies were definitely like debriefing, obviously, Karen's sentencing. When I say OG ladies, I mean literally Ashley. If you were to tell me Ashley would be one of the OG ladies on Potomac, I'd literally be like, shut your mouth. No, she's not. Like, out of all of the remaining, I knew it would be Giselle. Never in a million years would have thought Ashley would have still been on this cast to this day. But I'm just glad it's not Robin Dixon because I really could not stand her. But okay, so her and Ashley, and I guess that would make Wendy like the next OG. They were like talking about it. Very sad. And then Kay and Stacy are there, and it's kind of clear what direction this season is going in. I think Kay read a lot of the comments last season calling her very boring. I think a lot of us were underwhelmed with her performance. Sun is setting. Sorry for the lighting change. But I think a lot of us were underwhelmed with her performance last season. I know I was, especially as someone that was really rooting for her. Very disappointed with her performance last season. Oh my gosh, like the sun's like getting to me. But I just feel like she's coming in for chip on her shoulder. I'm giving Kay a lot of grace because I actually do like Kay, but I do think she was reading a lot of the comments, and I think she will be coming for Miss Dr. Wendy, and I don't think she has a right to. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to like adjust this because the sun is setting. I had like good lighting this whole time, 43 minutes in, and now the sun is like, okay, that's a little better. So I already kind of see what's going on. Also kind of seeing, I think the ladies are jealous of Stacy. I think Stacy was a fan favorite. I do think Stacy is inauthentic, but I think she's a different type of housewife. She's kind of kooky. I don't dislike Stacy. I see her. I see her. I don't, but she was reading the girls. She was reading the girls. She's like, okay, freshman, I'm over it. I'm a sophomore now. I can catch the shade because the girls were shading her. Very interesting now that Ashley has all this free time after she got that $20 million lawsuit. Okay, Ashley, forehead is smarter than I thought. She got that 20 million settlement. She is now like in all of her free time, all she can do is like talk about Stacy and it's like proving if Stacy's a liar or not. And it's like, Ashley, you are a liar. So it's like that has been your whole rep on the show. We cannot get any clear direction over what Michael was doing behind the scenes. So it does kind of suck, but it's like I knew Stacy was going to have a tough season because 1, the fans loved her. 2, She turned on Karen in a heartbeat. And then 3, this whole TJ situation. So we're still talking about that. And obviously when they filmed, I think they had filmed like a month after the reunion or 2 months after the reunion. They were trying to figure out what was going on with Karen. So they were trying to figure that situation out. They were still awaiting TJ. The ladies had also filmed right after Karen's sentencing. So they were still awaiting to see if TJ was going to drop any receipts. As we all know, he has not dropped any receipts. Very curious as to who was the actress that is saying she's TJ's best friend and she is the one that knows he is planning on suing Stacey for like half of her Real Housewives of Potomac check. Do I think Stacey paid TJ? I do. Also, no shade to Detroit, but we do know Kenya Moore. I'm pretty sure she paid Walter to be her boyfriend. And it's not even to say y'all gotta pay someone because you both are gorgeous women. Like, I'm not gonna take that away from Kenya. I'm not gonna take it away from Stacey. But no shade to Detroit. I'm just saying, what are the odds both of y'all from Detroit paying men to come on this show? It has nothing to do about Detroit, honestly. I'm just making a joke, clearly. But I'm just saying, like, these two women that are gorgeous, I believe Stacey paid TJ to be on the show. And I believe she was never divorcing her husband, or maybe this storyline with TJ is what she needed to get her husband back, because it looks like they are back on and they are keeping it between them. They don't want to mix it up with Arabella. They did get divorced. However, Ashley during her findings could not find the marriage of death. Like, what is it called? The divorce certificate. Did I say the marriage of death? I mean, it is. But she couldn't find it. And I thought that was crazy. I thought it was even crazier that Stacey was like, shouldn't you be Googling a voice coach? And then the producers were messy and showed clips of her attempted Roberta Flack performances, which were all over the internet, and she sounded terrible. So Stacey is going to be in the hot seat this season. I don't like a gang up, though, but do I think Stacey is a liar? Yes, and I hope it's not the Mia type of liar, because the Mia type of liar really annoyed me. But I think a lot of the women are threatened by Stacey. I think Stacey has a lot of longevity on the show. I think she is taking the heat well. She did walk off twice, but who wouldn't? I mean, I'm also hearing her breath smells, and it's giving internal, like it's not just oral. I hate that for her. If her breath does smell, I hate that for her. Because if there's one thing I can't do is like a smelly breath. And some of that stuff is internal. Some of that stuff is like in the gums and like the tongue and like the stomach. Like, it's not just giving breath. Like, it's not like you just need to brush your tongue. Like, you should get it checked out. Maybe she has gingivitis. But the new girl, Angel, said her breath greeted her. Now, there's one thing no one can ever say about me, is that I smell. That is like the utmost. As a woman, too, like hygiene, as a person, hygiene should be your number one. So if Stacey do got a breath issue, I hope she gets that fixed, because you don't want people saying you have bad breath, and all of the ladies are saying she has bad breath, and that is terrible, because I know some people with bad breath, and that stuff sometimes really do be some gum disease. Like, she might need to go to the dentist. I hate that for her, because I literally hate that for her. So she's gonna be in the hot seat. Now let's move on to Kay. Kay is reaching. She's doing a lot. But I'm giving Kay grace because I like Kay. I don't like the loser she's with. I don't understand why she's with this man. Her mom is gorgeous. Her and her mom are like twins. I like Kay. And what I will give Kay is, when I said that last season, But then it was cleared up on Instagram Live. I had said I thought it was weird because Wendy did bring Kay on and how they had like no individual scenes, no solo scenes together. But I caught a live of Kay. Also, Kay goes on Instagram Live too much. Like she's always trying to get ahead of the story. I think she thought after the premiere it would come off thirsty because she did a lot this episode that I just thought seemed a little thirsty. She went on live last season with Wendy. Wendy had joined her live and they were talking about how like production cut all their scenes together. And they were like, yeah, we don't know why they did that. They were both like joking on live about that. She was like, yeah, like I don't know why they did that. And that was cleared up. So for me, it was giving, oh, y'all are actually friends. Cause I was like, you know, Kay's debut was when NECA was on. I can't stand NECA. People are like, bring NECA back. She's actually in with the group. I'm like, no, she's not. She's like a graduated high school senior that keeps coming back with the freshmen. Girl, you're not at the table anymore. You don't have to show up to the events. And you don't need it to be online if you do. You're not coming back. So Kay obviously came on when NECA was on, and it just didn't go well for NECA because she kept saying she knew Wendy, but clearly, like, they knew of each other. It was just a whole mess thing. Wendy had rather bring her true, genuine friend Kay on, and this woman is, like, her genuine friend. So I was really confused last season when they really didn't have any scenes together. It was giving, like, oh my gosh, like, are y'all friends? Or is it giving Portia and Fallon? So now Kay's issue this season, she's trying to create an issue with people. She's waving her hand in Stacey because Stacey did not acknowledge her. Stacey was the newbie last season that kind of like rose to supremacy. She was the one that people love. She has iconic quotes. Like I said, she was gagging the girls this episode. Her shade, she stepped it up. You don't got to be the biggest Stacey fan. She was reading the girls. She asked Giselle, have you ever been humiliated by a man? And Giselle said no. And she said, Giselle, you haven't? Because we know that's not true. But, like, we know it's not true. Okay, Giselle. You haven't been humiliated by a man? Okay, girl. All right. Let me drink my tea. This is blueberry white tea. Anyway, Kay's doing a lot. So now she has an issue with Wendy because Wendy and her were at the same event. Wendy was actually a speaker, but Kay was sponsoring the event. And we saw Wendy congratulating her in the comments. I thought it was a very warm comment. And Kay was like, well, why didn't you tell me you were actually speaking at the event? And in Wendy's defense, she's like, I didn't want to make it seem I was one-upping you. You're telling me you're sponsoring it. I didn't want to be like, oh my gosh, girl, I'm speaking at it. Like, yay, I just literally gave you your props. Like, and then she's like, and then I see you at the event and you don't even speak. And then she's like, I was on stage talking. You want me to wave while I'm talking? And then she was like, I wouldn't do that to my friend. And she's like, you just do some things that are a little phony. And I don't know. I'm like, hey, I just don't think Kay's being herself. And I like Kay. And it's kind of weird because I just see her kind of putting on for comments. Like, they did call her very vanilla and boring. And yes, she was. We felt like, how is you a whole city baddie, a city girl dating this loser of a man? But I don't know. Maybe her bringing on her friend of 20 years, Angel, will help her stay true to herself. But it seems like she's going to keep trying to come for Wendy. And I hope you don't really miss that friendship because I don't think Wendy's taking it serious. She's like, okay. But it's like, it's given like, I've seen you since the event and everything's been fine. And now all of a sudden you have an issue. I don't want to see Wendy and Kay not get along. I'm hoping Kay reels it in, but I'm also curious how much of this has to do with the Karen stuff, but also just shows you how much of a class act Wendy is to not speak on her issue with Karen while Karen is not there to defend herself. And I don't know how much of that Kay is taking on. And it's like, you went so hard for Karen and now she's sitting in prison. So it's like, was it worth it? I don't know. I don't want Kay to lose herself. I don't, because something about Kay I really enjoy. Maybe it's looking at her brother's hot. But I really like Kay, and I don't want her to let the public opinion sway her into acting different. Stay true to yourself. If you're boring, you're boring. At least you're consistent. But the issue with Wendy I and if I didn't see that Instagram live last season, I saw it like it was like towards like after the reunion had finished airing. I caught an Instagram live on Twitter, and it was like they were both laughing or like why didn't production show any of our scenes together? Like we had so many scenes together. Like it just showed. I was like, oh, so y'all are friends, because I did think it was weird how they had no scenes together last season. So my opinion would be totally different. I'd be like, no, maybe Kay's right. And then her other instance was that Wendy was asking her like, who did your makeup? And she's like, did you do your own makeup? And Kay was like, yes. And I guess she was offended by that. But I don't know how Wendy said it. Did she say it in a negative way? Like, oh, did you do your own makeup? And she's like, did you do your own makeup? Like, maybe your makeup was so good. She's like, did you do your own makeup? Because Kay, it looks like you can do your makeup. I don't know, Kay. You might be reaching, girl. You might be reaching, but honestly, and then other than that, she's like, it looks like she's back with Greg, but I don't really care to talk about him. But I thought it was a really solid premiere. I gave it its 10s. And yeah, I really enjoyed the premiere. I thought it was really good. Let's move on to Real Housewives of Miami. That reunion was a lot. Unfortunately, I don't see Gertie returning. And I like Gertie. Gertie doesn't defend herself well. And maybe it is because English is her second language. But most of the ladies there, English is not their first language. I don't know if it's a language barrier. But I think Gertie is depending on us fans to kind of carry her defense in her storyline. And it's like, now you're in front of these women. I even hear her whispering that to Adriana. She's like, don't worry, we were good. She's like, they already see what's going on. And us as fans, we do. We already see what's going on. Also, I'm trying to finish my thoughts before I like segue these days. But she didn't do a good job defending herself. She did an atrocious job. I thought she should have just said what the text messages proved. The text messages proved I didn't beg to be back on that cruise. You begged me. And the gag is I wasn't allowed in the dinner because you wanted to get your flirt on with Captain Sandy. That's what I would have said. I think, and I'm going to talk about my theory, I think Julia wanted Gertie out of that room so she could flirt with Captain Sandy. I don't think Captain Sandy and Julia hooked up. I think Captain Sandy is happily engaged, or I think she's married now. At the end of Below Deck season, I can't remember. I know she was engaged. I think she's happily in a relationship. I think Julia was hoping to put the moves on Captain Sandy. Julia tries to put the moves on anyone. Anyone that is looking for a kiss. And I mean to just kiss you like she is trying to connect the kisses. Julia makes me very uncomfortable. I love the LGBTQ plus community. I love the gays. We love the gays. You know what I mean? Like, we don't care. But if that's my friend, you would make me very uncomfortable every time I see you. You're trying to kiss me. You're trying to kiss our group of friends. Like, even Stephanie has said it makes us like, it's weird, it's uncomfortable. She's always trying to kiss the ladies, and she's always trying to cheat on Martina. And now it has been confirmed that she did have an affair, or not even an affair, but it is confirmed that her and Adriana did sleep together in the Hamptons. And I think that's beyond me, because I was always saying, like, it was giving her and Martina are not in a good space. And I don't think they've been in a good space for a while. And so she's essentially saying that Adriana has been using that, and it looks like they hooked up more than once. She's using that as an excuse, kind of, to blackmail her. And I don't know if Adriana's doing that, but it reads, they were always touchy-feely. I do think they hooked up, but I also think Julia's trying to save face. I don't buy Julia's apology to Gertie. I don't buy her apology to Adriana. She's really trying to save face to save her spot on the show. I think Bravo should absolutely get rid of Julia. She hasn't carried anything for a while, but because of this bombshell, I have a feeling her and Adriana will both be back. But Julia has remained on the show way too long. And even Andy, I know he felt a type of way about Martina's tweets about surrogacy. And it seems like he seemed very plain Janed about it. He asked Lisa about it, but I'm like, as a host, why don't you speak from your experience being a surrogate, like using surrogates to have your children? They are using Julia for access to Martina and to market Julia as one of their LGBTQ alliances on the show. I tell you this, I went to Peacock, it was LGBTQ month and it was Pride month. And one of the Pride voices is literally Julia. This is what, June, July, forgive me if I'm mixing up months. She's one of the LGBTQ voices on Peacock. And it's just like, I feel like they're using that just for marketing strategy. Like, I don't know what else Julia brings to the show. I really do think it's just that. And it was very interesting to me that they used her like in the center, like amplifying LGBTQ voices, I think is what it was marketed as. And it's like, oh, watch Real Housewives of Miami. It's like Julia's like the main person because they're talking about Pride Month. I didn't like that. I think that's the only reason they're keeping her around, and also because of access to Martina. I literally think it's that. I did not like that at all. Yeah. Yeah. That was a jaw-dropping reveal. That's really what happened. Gertie did not do herself any service. Also, we learned that Julia, she's a 3-time offender. And someone that used to be on the show, Anna Quinqueses or whatever, she's also said that there's been several instances where Julia has lost her cool, and now we're finally seeing those deleted versions. I don't know why Bravo this whole time has decided to protect her, but they're clearly overprotecting her, and I think they were protecting her because of Martina. So I would think Julia would probably be getting the boot, but I don't think she is because of this revelation. I'm gonna have to turn on my light soon because I've lost all sun. I think because of that huge revelation, they're not gonna let her go. Maybe bring her down to a friend like Marisol, or like Adriana. But if it wasn't for her big revelation at the reunion about them sleeping together or hooking up more than once, I think she would have been off the show, because Bravo's already kind of done with her because they were showing all the time she had hiccups and these big blow ups. She tried to pour ice on Marisol, and then she was getting to an argument with Marisol and was banging the chair and broke the chair, and Nicole had to pay for the chair. Also, the ladies are not over Nicole. Like, Nicole's not even on the show and they're still talking about her. And we see a edited out version. We're seeing a lot of clips that were taken out of the show, like a lot of cut scenes, and it's really pissing me off because I'm like, why can't we see this in the scene? So we saw a scene where essentially the ladies were like, well, how does it feel? Because now you've lost your only alliance. Like, talking to Gertie after she's like, I cannot believe that it just happened. And then Alexia was saying something. She's like, well, you've literally isolated yourself. She said, how does it feel to isolate yourself? You only made one friend. And they were talking about Nicole. And I'm like, Nicole's not on this season. Y'all are still thinking about Nicole. Maybe because she just sold her freaking mansion for like 50 plus million and she actually has the money and the access to it. Larsa, Alexia, Marisol, they're like, well, you literally only made one friendship. Like, you only made one alliance on the show. Like, that's what they were whispering. They are so upset that Gertie and Nicole have a genuine friendship and that Nicole is the real Cuban Barbie doll. Alexia, I misspoke. You are not an alpha woman. You are actually the beta. She's the beta pretending to be the alpha. And it's so clear as day. It is so clear as day. Her and Todd apparently are not in a relationship as of now, but I don't even care to talk about them. I want to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but I literally need to turn my light on because I've lost all sun. I've lost it all. Okay, I had to add some light because it is fall now and I'm losing crucial sunlight because it's fall now. Yeah, so let's talk about Salt Lake City. There's a new episode when you guys will hear this on Toxic Tuesdays. So it's always difficult for me. So it's like I'm always recapping the episode very late, but I have to talk about it. So this was caught dismissed or not. Lisa is trying to clear up the allegations, and it's so funny because I am also in the middle of a Potomac rewatch, and I just finished Karen Huger's press conference for, explaining the whole, do her and Ray owe all this money to the IRS, all of their tax issues that was during season 3. So it looks like Lisa Barlow is attempting to have a Karen Huger-esque press release, and it flopped majorly because unfortunately she just printed off a bunch of her lawsuits and just used the dismissed stamp. They weren't actually dismissed. And Brahman had the best question. She's like, well, are they dismissed because they're fake, or are they dismissed because you paid it off? And she said, it's none of your effing business. So it's like, you caught us here to ask questions, clear your name. None of it's true. I always say Lisa Barlow's downfall. I've been saying this a lot recently. It is going to be very tragic because she's not stating the truth. She's sweating a lot. She's over talking in circles, getting heated. Her and Whitney almost tussling it out. That it's a lot going on. I don't think Lisa understands that just because you put a stamp and it says dismiss, it's not dismissed. I think Lisa's in some trouble. I think she has some explaining to do. Why does this man say you owe him money? Why is this man paying for your lifestyle? I think Lisa, but I also understand when you have a business like that and you're making that much money, you're going to get sued. I think it's weird if you don't get sued. I think the fact is like all this stuff is happening like now and there's one like still ongoing. And the fact that she's unable to really answer it. I also always thought it was weird when Jen Shah got arrested, or when the SWAT team and National Security or Homeland Security like showed up on their bus for that epic season for Jen Shah's arrest, that Lisa was literally sweating and on the phone with 6 different lawyers, 6 or 7. I thought it was 7, but it was 6. I thought it was insane that she was like scared in that moment, because I'm like, girl, what is going on? I always thought that was weird. I know a lot of people thought that was weird. We kind of glazed over it because obviously Jen Shah was like getting arrested. But it is very interesting that she was on the phone with 6 different lawyers. I'm not saying allegedly, everything's alleged, because Lord, I ain't got no money for no legal fees. Allegedly, I think Lisa's behavior with her businesses has been very skeptical. And it just rings to me that moment when she's on the phone with 6 different lawyers. Why you got 6 different lawyers? Why are you calling them sweating as you see the police show up? Like, are y'all in some funny business? And it's not to compare to Jen Shah at all. I thought it was wrong for Angie to compare her to Jen Shah. But Lisa can't answer the question. You know what the saying is. If you can't answer within underneath 5 words what's going on, and you start over explaining, you doing this, doing it, like she couldn't even explain. Or she shuts down and she's telling people to shut the F up. So when we didn't really get to the bottom of anything, I'm excited to continue watching it. I'll take better notes next time. But that was like mostly the gist of it. She got ate up again. Whitney and her was almost about to fight. Whitney and her was like literally about to tussle. If there's one thing about Whitney, is she's going to get down and she's going to get dirty. And she is going to let you know that you have no right literally disrespecting her. She was like, she got up across the table. I am shocked security did not get involved, because I genuinely thought she was going to fight Lisa. I'm shocked security did not step in, and she was getting triggered because she caught a redhead, but she thought she caught a redneck. And I was just like, girl. Whitney was super triggered, and then she starts talking about her business, and it looks like from the sneak peek, Whitney has left. Like, she was really upset. Whitney and Lisa were about to fight. I also want to talk about Brahman, because Brahman's honestly the gift that keeps on giving. I thought she was a spectacular newbie as well. I do think she's a little liar as well. Her relationship with her mom's very interesting. Clearly her mom has no respect for her. But the gag is, your mom's over here hating on your lifestyle, but your husband's the one that's paying for your mom's treatment and your dad's. So they've been like, Mom, how about that? Because sometimes it's like, I understand, like, don't forget where you come from. But for you to try to do this on TV and embarrass me, I really feel bad for Bronwyn, because it seemed like her mom thinks she's a gold digger. She chose money. I think her mom thought she would stayed here because she got pregnant in college, or was it high school? I think she got pregnant like at 19 or something. And I think she never thought she would have been this successful. And I think because she chose the more affluent, money option, because it's clearly money. It's clearly money. I think her mom doesn't really respect it, but her mom can't really say what she want to say because she also knows that Todd is paying off her dad's medical and her current fees. I mean, she's living with her daughter. So it's like, you can talk how you want, but like, you're in the lifestyle as well. You could have denied access to this. You really could have. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still shooketh by literally Patelli because, man, that was a good episode. And then I don't know what else happens. Okay, let's talk about the Salt Lake City taglines. I almost forgot because I honestly thought they were terrible. I thought they were all literally terrible, and I wanted to bring them up and like give my ratings, and then that's honestly the episode. We got another Salt Lake episode tonight. I'll talk more about it. Nothing really happened besides Meredith. Meredith's very much the ladies did not think Meredith had her bag. Even Mary was like, "You did not have her bag. You were quiet." I wouldn't say Meredith didn't have her bag. I thought she did. I do think they're trying to kind of form a wedge in between them. I thought she did. She said and I forget Meredith does have a law degree, or like she did go to law school. She was formerly a practicing lawyer. So she does have experience in this. And that's why I think she was like, we should wait till Lisa's here to really talk about it. But I don't know. The taglines, I just thought they were terrible. So this is Heather Gay's. I'm gonna rate them all from a scale from like 1 to 10. Or maybe I'll do like 1 to 5. I'll do 1 to 10. I'll see if I'll do 1 to 5. Okay. Heather Gay's, my nest is almost empty and this bird is ready to soar. If I'm doing a scale, I'm gonna do a scale 1 to 10. That's a 2. Because that's just a 2. Meredith Marks, when you drop lies, I'm dropping beats. I just feel like she needed more words. So she's in her DJ era. We'll see how long that lasts. But I feel like she needed more words. While you drop lies, I'm dropping beats. Like, I feel like it should have been, if you're going to drop the lies, then I'm dropping the beats. Like, that would have ate. Because I would have been like, period. Also, their audio quality has just not been that great. I also noticed that with Miami too. For Meredith, because I know what she's talking about, but I think she really needed more words. Also, guys, remember, they don't get a chance to pick their taglines. They can submit a couple, but it's up to production what they want to do and what gets picked. A lot of times these taglines are already written for them and they just pick which ones. Sometimes they can pick which ones in production like agrees with you. They're like, okay, period. We can do that one together. Sometimes production ignores what you want to do and they pick something else, So I'm going to give hers a solid 4 out of 10. I said it was missing some stuff. This was Bronwyn. She said, if my closet has skeletons, at least they be well dressed. I actually really liked Bronwyn's because Bronwyn she steps couture. Who cares if it's couture or costume? She is paying for it and she's paying a hefty penny. And you're right. If you do have skeletons, at least they are going to be well dressed. They're not going to be naked. So I'm going to give her a solid 6. I thought that was good. I would have liked to see maybe something different, maybe a little more couture in there or something. Maybe if my closet had skeletons, or maybe if she would have said, just because I have skeletons or like she should have said, yes, I have skeletons in my closet, but at least they're all in couture. Why isn't production calling me to write these? Like, that would have ate. Yes, I have skeletons in my closet, but at least they are in couture. That would have been good for Bronwyn. Like, that would have been so good. Okay, let's see if I can write some other ones. She's a writer. I'm a natural writer. I'm a wordsmith, so I have this in me. Okay, so we got Angie. I can never say her last name. Angie Castanevis. Hers is I'm Greek and the rest are just a tragedy. I really think she needed more words. She's not dropping the Greek thing. We're gonna also get more of her history. We got a scene with her dad. Like, we see why it's so important, but even her daughter's like, can you please drop the Greek thing? But she holds it close to her heart. It's her identity. How many Greek people do you meet? It's not often, at least in reality TV, that is her thing. So she said, "I'm Greek, and the rest are just the rest are just a tragedy." I think that also needed more words. They all seem so short. Um, she should have said something. If I'm Greek, then the rest are just a tragedy. Or I am Greek. She should have not I'm Greek. It should have been I am Greek, and you all are the tragedy. I am Greek and you all are a tragedy. That's what it should have been. Whitney Rose's. So I'm gonna give Angie's a solid 5. I needed more. Whitney's. I don't know if I can rewrite this, y'all. Roses are redheads. Violets are blue. Don't come for me or I'll come for you. It's not bad. It's actually kind of cute. Roses are redheads. Violets are blue. Y'all know Whitney Rose. She love a good rose. And now she is a redhead. The don't come for me or I'll come for you is just so overplayed. It's like the don't send. It's like Kenya Moore, don't send for me or unless I send for you. I could have done without the violets review. Blue. I get what she's trying to do. I can't even rewrite that. I give Whitney a 4. I didn't really like it. I think we can leave the rose stuff. It's like Angie has one more season of this Greek stuff in her tagline before it's like, okay, you're milking it. And Whitney, you've been over milking the rose stuff. Mary Cosby, people love Mary Cosby's, and maybe it's a spinoff from like the Eat, Drink, and Pray, and like we all know, Mary prays, so maybe that's why they loved it. But hers is like, I'm just here to eat, drink, and be merry. I honestly thought that was like a 4 because we've had so much more better from Mary. Like we got the iconic, like I'll send Jesus after you or whatever. Like I was like, whoa, I don't want anyone sending Jesus after me. But I've gotten so many better taglines for Mary. This was not a good one to me. So yeah, I gave that a 5. Did I say 5? I'm giving it a 5 just because it's Mary. And then we had Lisa Barlow's I don't go low, I go the distance. A lot of the taglines are just missing words. And obviously it's from her last season saying she's gonna go the distance. Lisa's is honestly good though, so I will give her a 6. But I feel like out of all of these, probably my favorite is Bronwyn. I like Bronwyn, Lisa's, and I do enjoy Meredith's. But a lot of them were just lacking words. So I just thought overall the tagline picks, they weren't the best. Like I feel like we've had so much better. Like even last season, the taglines were just a lot better. But yeah, I would rank all of them a solid 4. Like it was a 4 out of 10. Like last season, the taglines were taglining. This season, they weren't. Interested to see Potomac's, which we won't get for another 2 episodes probably. But I'm super excited for Potomac's return, you guys. Like that is my show. Ever since like they got rid of unfortunately Robin and Candace, like the show has been a lot light. Like these last 2 seasons have been really good to look forward to, and I do appreciate like Wendy like becoming an anchor on the show because I feel like they really try to shun her and really try to get her fired, and like it was just so catty and mean girl. It was so dark for a couple of seasons, so I'm enjoying this new blossom. Also Ashley's second bloom ball, and no one can remember the first bloom, is insane. But I'm enjoying Potomac's redirection. It just seems like a good path forward. But that's everything I want to talk about for this Toxic Tuesday. I told you guys I had a lot to talk about because we had 3 shows. Soon Miami will drop off. We're going to obviously talk about like the fallout from that. And we're, of course, going to talk about Salt Lake again next time. And Potomac. So it's going to be packed Tuesday shows. But like, listen to me wherever, in the car, eating, working out. Whenever you have time, make sure you guys leave a comment wherever you listen to your podcast. Give me a 5-star rating. And yes, this week we will have a what's the reality on what the reality. And I cannot wait to talk about that and reveal who I am talking about and what relationship we are getting into. It'll be very fitting for what is going on currently on TV. But period, until I see you guys, until the next time. Bye.